Hey yo, look guys, Vance got dissected by Tim Walz. That debate, okay, at the beginning, Vance was making quite a bit of a play, but every single thing went cliffing downhill ever since the abortion question. Oh my god. This debate, at the beginning, in the first 45 minutes, I swear Vance was, making huge gains on top of Tim Walz. Although Walz wasn't all that much behind, but it seemed very even fielded, right? It felt very level, where Walz was kind of 50-50 with Vance. But as the time went on, as we went to the second hour, Vance completely. I don't even think Walz was the one who sort of made a huge play on him, but Vance just struggled to answer any question. He's dodging every single question, and this is a scary thing. But for Vance, it was a bad performance. Now look, we did not expect Vance to do well, right? We expected Tim Walz to do well, but the problem is Vance even underperformed the lack of expectation. Look, what question did he answer? Okay, other than maybe the first question on economy and the second question about immigration, what other question did he respond to? He didn't respond to housing. He didn't respond to abortion. He didn't respond to middle class income tax. He didn't respond to childcare. He didn't respond to what do you call that? Was it post birth tax breaks? He didn't answer to that. About gun laws, about school safety, he didn't answer to that. About democracy, oh my god, he dodged democracy like crazy, and he didn't answer to any policy. Vance had no policy. If you watch the whole debate from the beginning, okay, on economy and on immigration, he has some policy. Okay, on economy and immigration, he has some policy at the beginning, but as the debate went on, you know what happened? I tell you what happened. It went from the economy to immigration and quickly devolved into Harris bad. Yeah, that is the whole debate. Everything after the 45-minute mark upon the abortion question, everything afterwards, everything in the second half was Harris bad. She couldn't do anything as a VP. She's bad. Her policies won't work. But then when Tim Walz pressed Vance, okay, then what policy do you have? Guess what he says? He says nothing. He says platitudes. And after he finishes his platitude, he goes back to the economy and why immigrants are bad for the economy and why Harris is responsible for the immigrants. And Harris bad. Then the entire freaking debate was JD Vance. It was a massive rant about Harris. And like that's the whole what policy did you get from JD Vance? Like just what policy? I was not able to suss out even one policy statement from JD Vance. When he was asked about the economy, is he going to cut taxes from the middle income, from the middle class? He said nothing. He just said Harris has a bad record, Trump has a good record, which is not true because Trump has a bad record. He screwed over the good economy he got over from 8 years of Obama. And guess what? He botched it with COVID. And Biden was the one who fixed it, who gained back employment after he botched the crisis. And somehow he's still the crisis hero. But never mind those details. Never mind that. When we go back to what Vance said about the economy, he said nothing. He had no policies. He has a concept of a plan, just like Donald Trump. He has no plan. You ask him what's his plan for the economy, no plan. But when you ask Tim Walz, he's like, okay, Harris has increased funding for startups. We are prepared to cut income taxes to the middle class and tax the rich. There are actual policies Tim Walz brought to the debate. Vance brought no policy. He's just a naysayer. All he did in the entire debate was, no, Kamala sucks. It's not going to work. What do we have? We don't know. We have concepts. We have platitudes. We have, Yeah, exactly. JD Vance was like, JD's JD's plan. Tim Walz said this almost verbatim. Let me go into my brain archive. He said, Vance, what's interesting about you is you said you're not going to trust the experts. You're not going to trust the economists. You're not going to trust the scientists. You're not going to trust the truck drivers. You're not going to trust nurses. You're going to trust Donald Trump. He knows it better than all experts. In fact, what that would sound like is if you have a heart surgery pending, you wouldn't go to Mayo Clinic in Minnesota. You would just listen to Trump. And that is his whole thing. It's like, okay, the problem is he isn't even listening to Trump. All he say is don't listen to Harris. The entire debate, Vance only had one point: is Harris sucks. Okay, he has not proven anything that is good on him or Trump. It's his entire debate. That's it. I mean, go back and look at it. It's just crazy. And how Vance was dodging every question because he has no policy. He can't answer the questions, because he has no policy. What is he going to answer? When it comes to economy, at the beginning it feels like Walz was nervous, which rightfully so. And when it came to immigration, he was nervous. When it came to economy, Vance said nothing. He had no policy statement. He's not telling you, okay, we're going to cut taxes from the rich or we're going to cut taxes from poor. He's just going to tell you, okay, Harris' plan doesn't work. Okay, then what's your plan? What's your plan? Do you have a plan or you have a concept? Vance is even worse than Trump because at least Trump has a concept of a plan. All Vance did was Harris' plan bad. What do we have? No plans. Actually, you don't know. You don't know what's our plan because we never told you what our plan is. And that's the thing. We don't know what their plan is. Imagine you're an independent person watching this stream and it's like, so what are you going to do once we voted for you? Okay, that's on the economy. That's number one issue. On immigration, the CBS moderator asked Vance, okay, so are you actually... Yeah, exactly, right. You're right, Neko. What? And they asked him, okay, are you actually going to mass deport the immigrants? And you know what Vance said? He said nothing. He didn't answer the question. He just said something like a lot of fentanyl is coming through the border under Harris, and then some other bullcrap about the cartels hiring minors to move fentanyl or some bullcrap like that. And I was like, okay, but are you actually gonna mass deport the immigrants? You have not answered anything policy related. Okay, that's two of his strongest issues. I like how he talks about how bad Harris was when she was only the vice president. Donald Trump was exactly. Okay, this is the point. This is why Vance is completely botched the debate because he thinks that the vice president had more power than the president where Donald Trump was in. And in fact, how about this? If the VP had so much power and could decide everything, how come Donald Trump isn't running for the VP? Well, since he's the same, they could swap and, like JD Vance run for presidency and Donald Trump can be the VP. Why run for the presidency if the president has equal power to the vice president? In fact, why divide the two positions? It's crazy. Like seriously, we're gonna watch some clips after this. I didn't make these clips. These are by other YouTubers. We're gonna watch some clips. By the way, I'm gonna add a poll right now. I'm gonna add one poll, just one simple poll. Who won the VP debate? If I can even spell. And Walz, Vance. Let's start the poll. We don't got many viewers, but that's fine because I've got a lot to say. I've got a lot to say. Okay, sorry for the intermittent burping here and there because I just ate lunch. But yeah, after the issue on immigration, which JD Vance gave an absolute non-answer, all he did was continuously attack Harris. I still don't understand. I still don't. Neko, what if? Or any of the 9 current viewers who are watching this, do you guys know what Vance will do or Trump will do once they take office with regards to immigration? Are they really going to mass deport? I actually don't know what they're going to do. Imagine as independent. Now, I'm not an independent. But imagine you're an independent voter listening into the debate and you're like, okay, but you know what? Let's go for the Republican-leaning independents who are like, Harris bad. Okay, let's give them that. But then it's like, okay, Harris bad. But then what are you going to do? Because I still don't know what they're going to do. All you have said was Harris bad. The entire 2-hour debate was a slander fest from JD Vance. Do you guys actually know what he's going to do about immigration? I don't know. When Tim Walz pressed JD Vance on immigration and asked him, are you going to sign? Or maybe he didn't ask him. But at least Tim Walz said something along the lines of, if the bipartisan border deal came back, me and Harris will sign it immediately. And you know what Vance should have said? We will do it too. But he didn't say that. He just kept attacking Harris about the 94 something border deal. Okay, then are you gonna sign the bipartisan border deal or not? What's your policy? What are you gonna do though? Like, what are you gonna do? And I don't know. We don't know what he's gonna do. That's his second best policy. That's his second best issue. And when you go to economy, it's the same thing. Tim Walz cut taxes for the middle income, make the rich pay their fair share. We'll get to housing, which is sort of linked to the economy. Vance has nothing. Vance just, everything he says, Harris bad. Economy, bad under Harris. Good under Trump. Yeah, because Obama carried a good economy to him. And then Donald Trump botched it because of COVID. And Joe Biden restored it. So, but then there's no policy, is what I'm saying. Where is the policy, JD Vance? There is no policy. When there's no policy, imagine the independent person. What are we going to do now? How can we be convinced to vote for you? Because I can't be convinced. Well, as much as Kamala Harris, I may not like her policies, but at least she has policies. You have none. All you do is just sit on the sidelines and play the blame game. Everything's our fault. Okay, we'll move on from immigration. We'll go to housing. I freaking love. Okay, the best moment of the debate is probably going to be the clips. But I'm not going to focus on the clips now. I'm going to focus on the issue. I'm going to focus on the policy. And Tim Walz, my man, he said one thing that I think is one of the most in agreement thing that I have heard, that I haven't heard from many people. And it's the fact that he wants to stop the commodification of housing. That's the killer. That got me sold. Because as of now, that's the problem why housing prices are rising up. People can't afford houses because the rich buys housing on block and either rents it out to the poor or jack up the prices in the market. And that's why people can't get a house. It's not because of immigrants. Okay, not go with. I just hope MAGA slowly fades away after Trump loses. They will. I've lost family members to his insane radical. That's condolences. Yeah, it's sad that they think billionaires and a felon cares about them. I mean, it's just a Trump effect. If I were you, I would try to be kind, but I don't think it's going to work in the short term. But here's the thing. Okay, when it came to housing, that is the solution. Stop the commodification of housing. If you really want price gouging and price jacking to stop when it comes to housing and keep families stable, keep children well educated, well rooted in the country and the dreams of our people, you have to stop commoditizing the most basic parts of living. And housing is one of them. But what does JD Vance say? Nothing. Yeah, what was his opinion about housing? He said something about public land. I didn't even get what he was saying. Can any of the 10 viewers watching this tell me what Vance said about housing? Like, what policy point did he bring up? He didn't bring up anything. I couldn't remember any policy point he brought up. That's housing. I think after housing, the first issue was Israel, and they both kind of just sort of middle grounded it. Although Vance didn't really say anything about policy, where Walz were saying, okay, we're going to support our NATO friends, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to support Israel. We don't support the massacre in Gaza, but we are going to defend Israel and her right to exist as a sovereign. And we are going to hold Iran accountable in their nuclear arsenal box. And that's what Walz said. Vance, again, I don't know what Vance said. Did he say anything about anything? It's insane how far right America, right? Like it's insane. It's actually insane. School lunch is free. Yeah, exactly. We'll get into that. Next thing after the horrendous, I think housing is where Vance is like slipping. Oh, and he said something about immigrants. Oh my God, this is when JD Vance started slipping. That man just started slipping like crazy after housing. Okay, it wasn't even at the abortion juncture. He started slipping at housing. You know what he said? He said immigrants are the ones who jack up housing prices. Are you kidding me? Immigrants can't afford a house. Bro, has this guy ever traveled to any country and he's like making a false lie that the government is handing out millions of free homes to immigrants? Like, where did you get that from? Where's my housing? Can I go to the US today and be like, I'm an immigrant, give me a house? You know you can verify that, right? Like, Nanka, what if, can I do that? Where's my house? I don't got a house in the US. Where's my house? Where's my government benefits? It's just making up crazy conspiracy theories. It's not proven. And Walz said that's false. That's a lie. And I'm glad he said that. But how can immigrants jack out the price? Like, that's crazy. They don't have money to even buy a house. How can the people who have no rights or say in the market be the ones deciding the market? And the app thing, you go to the app and then you click some buttons and you get a free house. Where's the app? I want that app now. Show me the app. Give me the app. Where's my free house? I can immigrate to America right now. Where's my house? That's complete bullcrap. Like, what the hell? It's insane. It's actually insane. This is actually bonkers. I can't believe you would say that. You think Trump is the type of guy who would say this? But no. Like, we usually associate Vance with the type of, like he's just there to coax Donald Trump and his ego. But no, like he himself is buying into the MAGA lunacy ever since the Haitian dog eating comment. And before that, he was kind of cringe. It was like just weird, a weird Vance with his cat lady comments. But after the dog eating comment, Vance has went more MAGA. He's losing appeal with the independents. He's just making him on the fly. And the moderators did not even fact check him. I mean, it's vehemently false, by the way. He completely botched the housing question. But that's not where the cliff really started. Like, that's not where he fell into the abyss. Where he really lost his footing entirely was when he started on abortion. Oh my God. That was a disaster. John Martin. Vance tried to debate well. He didn't lose in the sense like Trump was insane. But we have to remember, the VP debate isn't for people like us. Right? John Martin, thanks for the comment. I agree with you somewhat. But the debate aren't for people like us on the East Coast, West Coast, and Deep South, right? It's not for us. It's for people in the Midwest. It's for people, the independents in Pennsylvania, the independents who are on the fence about Trump, on the fence about Harris, and Vance said nothing of value when it came to policy. And these independents, they're policy-minded. First of all, they're policy-minded, and two, they are character-minded. The approval rating did go up for both. The problem is it went up because the MAGA base and the blue base went in to bump up the rating. But what we're not paying attention to is how the independents, those are the people who, unfortunately by electoral college, it shouldn't be, but those are the people who will be swinging the votes. And I can tell right now, the independents are not happy with Vance's performance, because he did not answer any policy issue at all. He was dodging every policy statement. Walz was the only person who made anything close to a policy declaration on almost every question. After that was abortion. Oh my God. That abortion was brutal. Let's just say after that, Vance got slaughtered on every question. That was brutal. Brutal. He went in with a personal recount of some person he met from a domestic abuse situation. And I think the message at the end of the day was, well, if this woman did not get an abortion, even because she got abused, well, then it's not really too far-fetched that we ban abortion nationwide. Like, that was kind of the message. And I was like, wait, what? Like, you could have not answered the question in a smarter way. Why did he bring up some woman who got domestically abused and, kept, did she keep the pregnancy? I forgot. But like, how was that relevant? And then we will look at what Walz said. He said the same thing with personal appeal. He gave 2 or 3 actual cases where innocent women died just to secure basic healthcare rights. Yeah, the moderator did fact check Vance once, and Vance couldn't shut up. That will be one of the clips. That will actually be one of the clips that will be going viral on social media right as we speak. That was the almost exact response Trump had when the ABC moderators corrected him. It was endless interjection. It was interruption. He has to talk over the moderators. To the independents, by the way, to us, to us, it may seem like he's trying to make a play, but remember, to the independents, when you have no principle, when you don't respect the rules, independents, and we don't think the same. We want the effect, we want the appeal. That what a lot of the independents are still fence-sitting on is 1, policy, 2, principle. And when Vance failed on policy because he gave no policy, all he said was Harris bad. And when he broke the principle, he pretty much attacked the moderator. He spoke over the moderator. I think for an independent watching, it's ridiculous. Tim certainly did no harm to the ticket. He played safe. And I don't blame him, because Vance was playing so offhanded that Walz didn't really have to make a play. Because the best play out of this, remember, you don't want to look radical to the independents. I'm glad that Tim Walz wasn't doubling down on the aggression, because Harris already won the blue crowd and Trump still got his MAGA crowd. What the VP is here to do is to win the sliver of independents. And Tim Walz, by letting JD Vance rant on and on about how bad Harris is and giving no response to any real policy, is winning. Sometimes winning means being silent when your opponent digs his own grave. And that's what happened. From abortion onwards, that's exactly what Vance did. And Tim Walz was like, okay, first of all, that's not true. Secondly, we're going to do this. Third, you're not going to do it, because we know. All you say is we're not going to do it, but when it came to you, you not only not do it, you did exactly the opposite, and you have records. And that's the thing. When it came to abortion, Tim Walz slaughtered, killed Vance's debate momentum right after housing, in fact, but abortion is where it went all the way down. After abortion, I believe, was gun violence. Oh man, Tim Walz was a great pick. Yeah, in military background and if people relate to you, that's all good. He's a great pick. I feel like now I'm convinced that he's the better pick than Josh Shapiro, because he did a great job. He explained everything. He gave policy. He gave policy on every question. Even the question that was asked to Vance, he gave policy. He even gave the policy in rebuttal to Vance's rebuttal to his original policy. Walz went policy today. And that's what the independents want to see. Right? It doesn't appeal to people like us because we want to see the vibe, He was stupidly strong. In the last half, he was a policy. He was on the policy, man. And Vance was just dodging. He just kept going on about immigrants bad, economy bad because immigrant, and Harris allowed immigrants, so Harris bad for economy. Like, he just went with this triangular, closed loop, non-response dodge to every single question. And he was not respond. He basically shut down right after housing. At 45-minute mark after the housing question was over and the abortion question was brought up, Vance shut down. That's it. His entire mind just got, it's like, in the old computers, you press the button accidentally and the PC just shuts down. That was the button. Abortion was the button. Pressed and just shut down. Tim was ridiculously strong in the latter half. He was even stronger than Harris was in the latter half against Trump, because he mopped the floor. He was surgical in his dissection of the policy. He was policy all the way. That was crazy. Yeah, exactly. The abortion. No, the things, Vance was the one who told a bullcrap story. I'm not saying it's not true, but the question wasn't even, the story he told was not even relevant to the question. And you know what Walz did? He mimicked Vance twice and won him completely. That's it. It's that simple. After there was gun violence, oh man, Vance, I can't believe he told us he wanted 45 schools. And you know what Walz did? See, this is why, you know why Vance never said anything policy related? Guys, you know why? I'll give you guys a guess. Because the first and only time he brought up policy in the debate, actual policy in fortifying schools, in diverging more resources, in fortifying every elementary school in the US, which is a huge dollar cost on the Americans. But that was his first real policy declaration. And guess what Tim Walz did? Tim Walz went in and was like, actually, sir, I went to Finland. They have high gun ownership. How come their schools are not built like prisons? How come you said we have no other choice but to fortify schools, but clearly Finland can do it. So why can't we do it, JD Vance? And Vance just shut the freak down. He could not respond to that question. Actually, I don't believe Vance was believing his own words. He never believed his own words. He was flip-flopping on Trump. He's constantly flip-flopping. He is male Hillary Clinton. That's how he felt like. He was Hillary Clinton. He was almost exactly, he was like this slick, oily, moderate, independent-ish, like fake centrist establishment type who doesn't answer questions and will throw shade at the opponent. It's always pushing off accountability. He's behaving exactly like Hillary Clinton. And actually, funnily enough, Tim Walz, at a few junctures, was behaving like Donald Trump in 2016, going hard at Vance. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, John Martin. Every country has crazies. How come in the U.S. the crazies get their way? How come in Finland the crazies don't get their way? How come in Canada they don't get their way? How come in many countries where guns are legal, they don't get their way? But now we're saying we should not only let them get their way, we should fortify schools, install metal detectors. Do you want your children to live in fear every day? Is that something you want to raise kids on? And like Walz just crushed him. And from that point on, it was the first attempt Vance tried to start on being policy minded. And ever since that, Vance just said no policy. Because he knows anytime he says a policy, Walz isn't going to come back with facts and logic and will crush him completely on the policy. Like that's why Vance just kept his mouth shut, like just kept going back to the same rhetoric. Immigrants bad for economy. Harris allows immigrants, therefore Harris bad for economy. That's crazy. Exactly. So here's the thing, John Martin. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for the chat. That's the thing with Vance. He backed off. He became a coward. He had no courage to bring up any policy after gun laws. After gun law, I believe it was it childcare? I think it was childcare, and that was almost an immediate follow up to it was healthcare first. On healthcare, JD Vance, the Affordable Care Act. Oh my God! You see, ever since abortion, Tim Walz is just mopping the floor of JD Vance. Like that's. Like the Affordable Care Act, and how Donald Trump, first day he wanted to cancel Obamacare, and how healthcare prices, it has third best in Minnesota, and they're rolling this out to the entire country, and all JD Vance said was Harris bad. You know why Harris bad? Because COVID was bad, and who botched COVID? Donald Trump. Like, how can a person who allowed the unnecessary death of innocents by the hundreds of thousands become heroified on the issue of healthcare. And Walz completely nailed him by mentioning the fact that it was because of COVID that we're in the predicament we're in right now. And then when it came to healthcare, Vance, no policy. Exactly. J.D. Vance said Donald Trump saved Obamacare. No, Donald Trump could not destroy Obamacare, and therefore he had to go along with it. That's the thing. And after that, J.D. Vance proposed nothing of healthcare, no policy. After healthcare was childcare. Oh my God. And childcare went back to housing. And Walz was like, you know, if you commodify housing, how can children have stable livelihoods and stable parenting? If you're gonna lock schools into a prison-style security base, almost like a prison, how are any of these things pro-children? How are any of these policies pro-children? And Walz was like, bro, childcare you're losing. You're also not for a maternity leave. So like, what are you saying about childcare? And again, J.D. Vance dodged the question. Didn't say anything about childcare. All he said was, Harris bad for childcare. I don't even remember what was his exact argument against Harris. It's like, okay, sure, but what's your policy, man? J.D. Vance. What's your policy, damn it? As an independent watching, at that point I was like, okay, at that point my stream got cut off because my OBS couldn't handle it. But at that point I was like, oh my God. Like, just stop talking. Like, why are you even talking, bro? Everything that came out of your mouth was already covered in the first 10 minutes of the debate. Everything after that, you just kept repeating it in a different term, and you're not making any policy statements. This is egregious. It's egregious. Right, Donald Trump with, 30%. In my country, he will get maybe like 20%, honestly. Seriously. And again, after the childcare, after maternity leave, what is the other one? Democracy. Oh, this is the final nail in the coffin. The democracy question killed Vance. It's over. At the point of democracy, and how J.D. Vance asked 3 times, 1 time by the moderator and twice by Tim Walz, do you believe? I think there was a climate question we skipped, but basically Vance had no plans, and Walz said we're gonna be with the climate agreement. But that's earlier on. When it came to democracy, Vance was asked, do you acknowledge Donald Trump lost the 2020 election? And he said, we are future looking. Yet, everything he said in the debate, every response he made to the debate question was how Harris did bad in the past. Well, how come when it came to the election that you denied victory on, you say let's move forward? But when it came to a non-issue, when it came to vice president, she's not even the president. When it came to the vice president issue, you were just sorry for swearing. You're just bitching the whole time. Sorry for the swearing, but that's the truth. When it came to you, well, it's the future. When it came to your opponent, well, everything they did in the past was wrong. Every bad thing that happened in the past was my opponent's fault. Like, yeah, it makes no sense. Both of you are right. That was crazy, and it was a dangerous answer. And Walz asked him directly, "Do you believe Trump lost the 2020 election?" And he said something like, "Look, we cannot have a person running for presidency that undermines the most basic value in democracy itself." And Vance went into this. This is the problem. Vance took the bait. He went into censorship, and guess what Walz said? He said, "Well, you consider that censorship? What about book burning? Huh? What about book banning? Is that not censorship? You're gonna censor me for deleting a post inciting violence upon people? You call that censorship? But book banning trans agenda books is not censorship?" And he's like, oh, Trump in the end settled for a peaceful transfer of power. Yeah, after a failed attempt at a coup, after a failed attempt at the insurrection, that he accepted the terms of his lack of presidency. Of course he accepted it, because he lost the fight. And at that point, like Vance dodged every single question. After abortion, after gun laws, he dodged every single question. And that's he tried to change the subject and he failed. Tim Walz answered the change of subject, which is censorship, what his party was doing. Right. And Tim Walz's his own son was in danger. He was escorted. So, and 140 people died or something like that, a lot injured, and police officers died. Like, are you guys the law and order crowd? The answer is you figure. Because remember, we are not the audience. We are not the audience of this debate. We're not the primary audience. The primary audience of this debate are independents. And when independents, at that point, they don't see any policy coming out of Vance, and every policy was supplied by Tim Walz. At that point, if you can't even acknowledge the fact that you lost the election, imagine an independent listening. Okay? Yeah, exactly. Imagine that you as independent watching this lifetime, and JD Vance dodged the election question 3 times. Oh my God. Oh, that's horrible, John Martin. I didn't even know that. That's horrendous. That is horrendous. And here's the thing. Would you as an independent still vote for JD Vance and Donald Trump after he could not answer, did I lose the 2020 election 3 times? I think that's the nail in the coffin. Because everything you said before this about Harris bad, well, Hillary Clinton acknowledged her loss. Every president before her, every president acknowledged her loss. And Donald Trump is the only person. So, you can't... Right. Every time after abortion question, JD Vance just couldn't answer anything. Not even policy related. Everything he said after that was Harris bad. I didn't even get the logic why he kept saying Harris bad. His entire logic hinges on one question, or on one assumption, which is wrong. Is that as the VP, she has executive rights to every problem in the country. Well, again, let me go back to the same counter argument. If the VP has executive rights to every single issue, why wouldn't Donald Trump run as the VP? Why is he running for the president? Why was he the president? Why couldn't Mike Pence be the president? Well, in fact, the way he treated Mike Pence was horrible. Especially that the Tim Walz brought up that while the violent crowd outside of January 6th says hang Mike Pence, and Mike Pence was actually the reason why democracy didn't falter on that day, Trump was still instigating the crowd and invigorating them. Like, this is insane. This is complete. At that point, if you're truly an independent in any of the states, it's just over. It's over. Vance lost it. He's lost it. Because at that point, he has to choose between 2 things. Do I want to piss off the independents, or do I want to piss off the MAGA base? Because to him, it's very simple. If he piss off the independents, maybe he could try to rile up, he could try to rile up the MAGA turnout, which I don't think it's going to happen. But he could not, for any taking of the risk, piss off the MAGA fan base. So to the death of him, he cannot acknowledge the fact that Donald Trump lost the election. Yeah, he was, bad performance from Vance. I mean, Tim Walz, honestly, I don't think Walz did all that bad. He did kind of bad at the beginning, but as the debate went on, Vance he's getting pummeled. He's getting ragdolled. That man was getting ragdolled left and right. He's not doing well in the debate at all. And Walz, honestly, at the beginning, I was like, he's looking kind of shaky. He's looking a little. He's at a few points he was kind of locked in. He looked almost angry. But after that, he was like, you know what? You know what he reminded me of? He reminded me of Christopher Hitchens. after the abortion question, he went hitch slap mode on JD Vance, and that was it. That was exactly what happened. Vance unable to keep up, and Tim Walz just surgically nailing Vance on every single issue, every policy. He went straight in. He gave detailed plans, and all Vance said was, "Well, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work." Okay, then where's your policy? Well, your policy is not gonna work. Okay, where's yours? Where's yours? Okay, can any of the 12 viewers in the stream right now answer this very simple question? Where was Vance's policy on any of the questions? What was his policy? When Roe v. Wade was asked, do we restore it? And Walz like, we're going to restore it. If the bill passes Congress and came to us, we're signing it immediately into law. But what does Vance say? Well, I know this woman who was abused and carried to term, whatever he said, I forgot, whatever. Some non-important tangential bullcrap that ended up and no policy. Everything he said has nothing to do with policy. It has everything to do with how bad Harris is. Like, okay, it's a good point when you make it like the first 1 or 2 times. By the third time, by the fourth time, it gets old very quickly. We want to see and we want to hear what you're going to do for the country, right? That's what we want to know as the independent. Okay, it's not for people like us. It's not for people like us who are, already kind of decided. We're just listening in for the sort of like the clout or for the vibe. The independent voters in the Rust Belt in Pennsylvania, Michigan, in maybe even in North Carolina, they're listening in. The suburbs, people they're listening in to the policy and to the principles. And JD Vance gave no policy and no principles. He was future looking when it came to election interference. Yeah, he was only trying to mitigate for Trump. That word, you used it. You took the words right out of my mouth, John Martin. He was a Trump apologist. That was the whole engagement. The entire engagement was him being a Trump apologist. That was the whole engagement. That's it. He was a Trump apologist, and all he did to achieve that outcome was to blame Harris for everything, which is completely idiotic. No policy. You're right. I couldn't remember one policy statement from JD Vance other than the one he said about turning school into a secured facility and basically fortifying schools. And Tim Walz just completely demolished him. And ever since that question, nothing else. All he tried to do was to sane watch Trump by making Kamala Harris the non-sane looking one, which he failed to do so. And that's it. Vance, okay, look, we had high expectation for Walz. We didn't have much expectation for Vance, but honestly, even at that level, Vance just he did a nothing burger for the whole debate. There was no debate. He was just there to slander Harris and garner the reputation for Trump. He had no policy, he had no principles. He demonstrated nothing. He was just there as an apologist. And Walz was the one who was making policy statements. And as independent, honestly, Walz won independence. To everyone else, to people like us, to people like them, they are MAGA anyway. We are voting Harris anyway. But to the independents, the outcome is clear. Vance has no policy, Vance has no plan, and Vance has no principles. That's it. Yeah, he's just a lapdog. He has no policy. He has no opinion. He's just repeating the same point he said in the first 10 minutes. He's just repeating it all over again. Every single question, he goes back. Immigrant ban, including a housing question. Can you guys explain to me how non-players in the market are ruining the market? Like, can you explain me to that? Like, how can immigrants who can't afford to buy houses affect the housing market? Does that even make sense? And how millions of immigrants are getting free housing for the government from the app. Where's that app? Where's my free housing? I'm going to fly to the US. Where's my free housing? Like, we could debunk this, and CBS moderators did not fact check him. I wish they did, but Tim Walz went in and was like, no, actually that's not true. That's bogus. That's bullcrap. That there's no such thing. And I was like, yeah, obviously, because if there was such thing, everyone would be flocking to America. Like, do you really think there's such thing? But hey, and the independents were like, clearly that's a lie, because there's no way that is true. Blame the immigrants. Exactly. All they did. Here's the thing. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work because the independents are sick and tired. They want to hear policy. They don't want all these racism, this divide, this fear baiting, fear mongering. They want the policy. They're here to hear what are the candidates going to do, right? And Vance said nothing. All he did was to put others into disrepute. He put immigrants into disrepute. He put Kamala Harris into disrepute. He's just there to slander. He has no policy. Imagine as an independent person watching the debate. I honestly, every time Vance opened his mouth, I felt my time wasted. And honestly, if it was not for OBS cracking up on me during the live stream, I might have just ended a live stream early anyway, because I was so tired. I had 6 hours of sleep. I woke up early just to catch the debate, and JD Vance wasted my time. Okay, the first 50 minutes was good. Okay, he made quite a bit of play. He was good. He got Tim Walz. He got Tim Walz on the edge. He made him look angry. He made him look upset, unsettled. That was good play. I support Walz. Don't get me wrong, but that was a good play. I was like, you know what? Vance is doing a good job. Vance is actually he's on something right now. And then after the housing question, after the abortion question, oh my God, it just Vance. If you don't have the answer to that question, that's fine. Just say you're working on it. But come on, like, stop cycling back. Stop using the same old talking points. Immigrants, bad. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, exactly. You were with me on the stream before my OBS cracked. Neko, what if? I was screaming. I'm like, stop dodging the question. Answer the question. Tell us what your policy is. I wasn't even mad at Vance because he's Republican or he's running for Trump. I mean, I am. But at that point, I was specifically mad that JD Vance is wasting my time. He's not answering any questions. He's not giving any policy. He just kept talking about the immigrants and why Kamala Harris landing the immigrants. Immigrants are bad for economy. They're bad for housing. They're bad for children. They're bad for guns. They're just bad, and they got this magical app at the swipe of a left swipe. They get free housing by the millions from the government, and Americans are struggling. Like, what the hell are you talking about, Vance? Answer the question. What plans do you have for housing? Are you gonna mass deport the immigrants? What's your plan on Israel? Where are your policies, Vance? And I was just screaming. You remember that, Neko? What if you were with me on the live stream before I got cut? And I was just like, bro, can you answer the question? Stop dodging. Just answer. Okay, how about don't give a policy? Just answer. You don't even have to give it yes or no. You have to let us know what your inclination is. But guess what? He did not. There was. He was just a talking head. He's a broken record. He just kept repeating the same talking points, and I just couldn't handle it. And I wasn't even mad. I was just bored of my mind. I was like, what am I going to comment? Because he is not giving any substance whatsoever. And Walz was the person who actually gave substantial coverage of his policy. He actually explained what him and Harris is going to do. Vance said nothing. I still don't know where he stands on immigration, by the way, guys. Like, he's just an action. He's repeating the same line. He's a broken record. He's one of those wind up, like in olden days, you got these wind up toys. You just turn the knob and it just like shakes around and keep repeating the same sound. He's like a music box but for noise. Okay, like that's what's going on right now. And I was like so bored. I was bored of my mind. I was like, bro, what are you doing? Say your policy. Okay, when it came to Israel, no policy. When it came to economy, no policy. His only policy was Harris bad. That was his policy. Initially, it kind of hit. Honestly, as a Harris supporter, initially it kind of hit. I was like, ooh, he's making a play on Harris. Initially, it kind of hit. And when it came to immigration, he started attacking Harris again. I was like, okay, you skipped the policy response on economy. Now we're on immigration. You're still skipping the response. Those are our top two issues. They gave you the strongest start you could ever hope for. You botched the response for economy. I mean, you didn't really botch it, but you gave a second-rated, second-handed response. You showed no policy. You're just trying to defame. And then afterwards, it came to your second strongest issue. Actually, they're only left. The only issue they're leading on. Yes, Ryan Henderson. Look, if you were on my live, you have seen how frustrated I was. The live, is no longer available. But Neko What If I was so frustrated. And at one point, I stopped talking. Because, what do I say? I was just so mad, bro. Thank you, Ryan Henderson. John Martin. Yeah, because he's a very weak candidate. He has no presence. And everything he did was... Okay, let's go back to the review. After immigration, which was second best issue. In fact, on every other issue other than immigration and economy, they are losing. And he botched both responses, spent the entire time talking about Harris. He said nothing substantial about him and Trump. That's their top two issues. Imagine Tim Walz did that when it came to abortion. Imagine Tim Walz said nothing about restoring Roe v. Wade, but just kept going on and on about how Trump is bad, how they're bad. Would that be convincing? It's like, and after that, what was it? It wasn't childcare. I think it was healthcare. I forgot what question went after. It was housing, right? And housing, again, he went for the Harris bad. Housing prices went up, blah blah blah. Housing market crash, blah blah blah. And he spent his 2 minutes every time a question was asked. Each candidate was given 2 minutes, and he spent almost the entire 2 minutes just blaming Harris again. And at that point, and I was like, okay, dude, where is your effing policy? Tell us what you're gonna do. And he just wasted another 2 minutes of his talking time and went to Tim Walz. He's like, I'm going to stop commodification of housing. I'm going to stop price gouging by the capitalists. I'm going to stop market manipulation. I'm going to stop Wall Street from mass purchasing and mass renting. Like, dude, Walz was on it. Right? Right, exactly. Neko What If he's talking about how big tech is backing Harris when the biggest, richest man in tech, Elon Musk, is backing Trump. He bought off an entire platform, and turned it entirely into the Trump fest, bro. Yeah, I remember in the interview where JD Vance said his plan for childcare was to have grandmothers take care of the kids. Oh my god. Yeah, that is his policy. You know what that policy is? Ryan? That policy is exactly what we're doing right now. Because parents couldn't take care of the kids. That's exactly what's happening right now. Grandparents are forced to take care of the kids. His policy is no policy. His policy is I don't care. His policy is let's just continue and find out what happens because Harris bad. That is his policy. After was it housing? It was abortion. Look, ouch, yowza. Tim Walz destroyed JD Vance on abortion. The response was so bad. The response from Vance was so bad. He would have just said, "You know what? We made a mistake." Like if he just said that, if he said we made a mistake, our laws were too strict. We wanted something that was more appropriate, but was slightly stricter than Roe v. Wade. But the states went too far, and we don't agree. We overturned Roe v. Wade, yes, but we didn't have a 6-week abortion ban in view. We never thought this was the outcome, and we are truly sorry for it. In fact, if Roe v. Wade comes back, we're gonna sign it back into law. That if J.D. Vance said that, like he would have won over so many people from the independents. But no, he doubled down and he gave a bullcrap, like soft ass story about a woman getting abused, and carrying to term. I don't even remember the story. Can you guys help me recount that story? I was bored. I was like, bro, what are you talking about, man? Get to the point. Are you gonna sign Roe v. Wade into the law when Congress pass it? And Walz was like, you know what? We're gonna pass it. If Congress passes it, it comes to our desk. We are signing it into law. That's another policy. Boom. Completely destroyed Vance. That's it. And after that was what was after that was childcare. It was school gun violence. Oh my god, gun violence. Yo, destroyed. He's just destroyed. Walz destroyed Vance on gun violence. You want to fortify schools? Obamacare, Affordable Care Act. Oh my god. Vance botched it. Vance botched, and Tim Walz ended his segment on I'm gonna sign in ACA. I'm gonna do ACA, and thank God for John McCain. Thank you, John McCain. Oh yeah, his response to Gen 6. Oh my god, his democracy response. No, Walz completely. Okay, look, you know what Walz did? Walz, I think, was it Mortal Kombat? You know, there's this character Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat, and one of his fatality was freezing the opponent and taking a sledgehammer and smashing it into smithereens. That's what Walz did to JD Vance. He started with the Gen 6, and he was like, well, Gen 6 was bad, but Donald Trump still conceded to a peaceful transfer of power, and Walz was like, yeah, because he failed the coup. If he successfully overtook the government, do you think he would concede? Do you think he would concede? And then Vance was like, well, but what about censorship? What about censorship, huh? Like, if you're against freedom, if you're against a democracy, what about censorship? And Walz was like, censorship? Well, first of all, inciting violence against individual and starting a coup is not censorship, it's sedition. Okay? For one, that's not censorship. And two, you know what censorship, JD Vance? Book banning. Boom! And JD Vance was like, shit. And I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. I was like, sorry. And I was like, it's over. It's over. Not only he lost a point on democracy, he brought in an additional point of censorship on top of democracy, and he lost both. He got crushed. JD Vance he dug his own grave, and Tim Walz allowed him to do it. And Walz is a teacher, exactly. No, he did not. And he dodged the question about certifying the 2024 election result. Two. And as the independent watching in the Rust Belt, I mean, like, what's your opinion? At that point, it's like, okay, you're not gonna certify an election. You don't admit that you've lost the previous election. You're for book banning. You're for forced birth, and you got no plans for housing. You want the market to commodify housing. You have no response to Israel-Gaza situation. You want to fortify schools instead of gun control, like what they're doing in Finland. You want to whatever your plan for economy is, which just do. He doesn't have a position on the economy, guys. What was his position on economy other than Harris bad? Other than immigrants bad, Harris bad. What was his position on economy? He had no position. Yeah, like where the houses gonna be built? The thing is, what was his position in the economy? What was his position? We don't know if he's gonna cut taxes for the middle income classes. We don't know if he's gonna cut taxes for the rich. At least we know where Donald Trump stands when it comes to economy. He's gonna cut taxes for his rich friends. Okay, look, that's bad, but we know his position. But what is JD Vance's position on the economy? He has no position. He has no position, and the whole federal land bullcrap it's just a non-answer. Like, what's your position, bro? What's your position? There's no position. And when it came to immigration, when it came down to the question, okay, so then what are you gonna do now? Okay, are you really gonna mass deport? And guess what JD Vance said? Freaking nothing. He dodged the question. So we don't know what his position is on the economy, and we don't know what his position is on immigration. He has no position. and the $5,000 child tax credit, which I think was it Tim Walz who upped it to 6,000, 50,000. I forgot. No, he can't say he's pro minimum wage because he'll piss off his MAGA fan base. He can't actually say that. All he did was he insinuated about alleviating some problems for the poor, but he couldn't actually say it because he'll piss off the MAGA fan base. And he has to choose between coaxing the MAGAs and appealing to independents. But you can't walk that line because that line doesn't exist. The fact that you're independent means you're non-MAGA. And he really doesn't want to piss off the MAGAs. So he's like, I'm for the future. I'm for the country. I'm for, okay, but are you gonna raise the minimum wage? Are you gonna give universal basic income? Right? Exactly. You're right, Ryan. And he's like, no, yes, no, I don't know. And he's just all over the place. He has no position. He spent his entire debate prep for 2 hours debate prep slandering Kamala Harris. And that's it. Any policies? No policy. That's his whole debate. Walz was policy head. And I like that. He was on point. And then JD Vance was never on point. He wasn't even on point when it came to economy and immigration. Can you imagine? Those are your top two issues. Those are only issues that are in your favor. And you can't even stay on point. You can't even stay on policy on those issues. Man. And Trump will blame JD Vance if he loses. Exactly. Oh my God, Vance. Oh, I don't get it. I don't freaking get it, guys. This is lunacy. Pro-pay family leave. Exactly. Like Tim Walz is, every question he gets, he gives at least two policy roads. And all Vance do is like, nope, won't work. Harris won't do it. Nope, can't. Won't happen. Won't never work. And after that, he say nothing. He was a naysayer the whole time. He said nothing but naysaying. That was his entire debate. It's like debating. It's like debating with a stubborn child. It's like debating with a petulant child. Look, eat your vegetables. We're gonna put you on a diet because you're unhealthy and you're suffering from a disease. You have to be on that green diet. And child just folds his arm. Nope, mommy bad, daddy bad. No, I'm not doing that. Okay, so then what are you gonna do? Well, I don't care as long as I'm not eating greens like mommy tells me. Like, what? And he kept talking about manufacturing. Like, how many manufacturing jobs were lost under Trump? How many manufacturing jobs came back in Joe Biden's time? But the thing is, it doesn't matter. Because he said nothing about a policy that will actually bring manufacturing back. He just said he will bring manufacturing back. He said no policy. He gave no policy. He just say he will bring it back. That's the thing. He say he's for the future. Where's your future-looking policy? He is for democracy. That's what he says. But where's your pro-democracy policy? He's like, where's your policy? He talked about energy, but where's your energy policy? You see? Like when it comes to energy, when it comes to economy, they're leading the issue. Yeah, like the future can mean anything. Like what's that all about? Yeah, why didn't you bring up the microchip jobs coming back? Walz actually brought back the soybean tariff war with China and how farmers were struggling and how that tanked our economy and all the production and manufacturing logistics and bottom lines and downstream operations of that consequence. Like he actually brought it back. And the solar panel business, was that not manufacturing? Was that not energy? Like you see, like Vance doesn't say anything. Biden is a hero. He's not merely a president. He stepped down. That was legendary. Biden, he's a hero. That's all I can say. Biden is a hero. Yeah, JD can't give a straight answer on climate. No, he did. He said, I don't trust the experts. When it came to economy, he said, I don't trust the experts. When it came to climate change, I don't trust the experts. When it came to immigration, I don't trust the experts. When it came to healthcare, I don't trust the experts. When it came to childcare, I don't trust the experts. When it came to housing, I don't trust the experts. Okay, and Walz was like, okay, if that's the case, when you get heart surgery, make sure you get it from Trump. Don't get it from a qualified cardiac surgeon. It's like, you don't trust the expert? Yeah, that's why no straight answer can be given. Because he cannot rely on any formal evidence. Because he don't trust the experts, which means he has no evidence. He has no formal evidence to back up anything he claims. So he can't answer any policy related thing head on. Like, that's why, because he has no evidence. He just made up some bullcrap. 1 million immigrants are coming in. They swipe on the app, and then they get free housing. What? Where's my housing? Can I put my foot on the pavement, land in the U.S. and get my free housing? Where is it? Give me my free house. I don't have it. Where's my free house? Where's the app? I want to get that app. Where is it? Like, it's just nonsense. And the climate change, like, and the CBS host, right after both of them answered the question, they were like, you know what? Actually, virtually all scientists agree that the hurricanes and all the natural disasters we're seeing right now are exacerbated by climate change, and climate change is a fact. That was just the cherry on top. Wind turbines killing bald eagles. Wind turbines causing cancer. Hannibal Lecter. Oh my god. That was horrible. JD Vance completely dodging carbon emission. It's like, okay, so are you gonna do anything about carbon emission? Nope. Do you think we have a carbon emission problem? I don't know. And he's the U.S. is the cleanest energy economy in the world. Did you just happen to forget all of Europe? Really? Cleanest economy? Like, that's a straight lie. What the hell? Like, do you know the entirety of Europe exists? And that's what happened to when it came to the gun violence question, and Walz brought up Europe, which is Finland. It's like, you said we had to fortify schools, but in Europe, in Finland, we don't have to do that. They have high gun ownership rates. We never had to secure schools like we're securing prison facilities. Like, what the hell? And JD mentioned something about not building new nuclear plants. Like, what was that about? Like, first of all, can someone fact check that? And secondly, like, so are you gonna build more nuclear plants? Like, the problem is he can't say that. You know why? Because nuclear energy is highly unpopular amongst the MAGA. Because they think anything nuclear is end of the war. It's apocalypse. It's atomic war. So he can't actually say, I'm gonna build more nuclear power plants, because he's gonna piss off the MAGAs. Do you see the problem? He only brought up the nuclear plant thing to say Harris bad, but he can't actually name a policy. He can't say, we are gonna build more nuclear plants, because he can't do that. Every policy he says is, one, either gonna piss off the MAGAs, or two, piss off the independents. So all he did was trying to slander Kamala Harris so they can keep the independents away from Harris. And that was the whole deal, and he botched that too. Yeah, JD Vance could have just said out, I'm gonna build more nuclear plants, but he can't, because the MAGAs will be pissed. The MAGAs won't have it. Are you gonna build? Okay, we're gonna build more nuclear power plants in Tennessee. Do you think that's gonna work? We're gonna build more nuclear power plants in Springfield, Ohio, upon all the dog eating incidents by the Haitians. Do you think the Haitians will vote for that? Do you think the Ohioans will vote for that? If JD Vance says we're gonna build 10 nuclear reactors in Ohio, he's gonna lose Ohio immediately. He can't say that. He can't say that. That's the thing. The only reason he said nuclear energy was to make Harris look bad. You see the problem? So he has to walk the fine line of not saying anything, because anything he say will piss off either the independents or the MAGA. So everything he has to say has to be against Harris, which he did a horrendous job, because everything bad he said about Harris hinges on one thing, is that the VP has as much power as P. Again, I say this for the third time. If that's the case, how come Donald Trump isn't running for vice presidency? Wasn't it be the same as running for the president? And he was the president too. Like, what in the world is he doing? Vance, horrible. It's just horrible, guys. I mean, Vance, he butchered. Look, Walz was brilliant, but Vance just he flattened himself. Okay, Vance flattened himself. It's 1 hour into the stream. I don't want to drag this out too long. At most, I burped. Sorry. The lunch is coming out because I'm so pissed. Even 1 after into the stream. Okay, but we're gonna take a look at some post election clips. We'll just take a look at a few. Okay, we'll just take a look at a few. Vance failed to answer one simple question. I feel like it's about democracy. Oh, this was 17 minutes long. It's from Midas Touch. We're gonna look at a few others. We're gonna take a look at this first. The Georgia abortion ban just got destroyed. Well, that's coming. Jimmy Kimmel breaks down the vice presidential debate. Okay, we're gonna take a look at a few, just like maybe like 3 or 4 of these. Yeah, exactly. What? Thank you. Midas Touch is awesome. Absolute Midas Touch, awesome platform. Yeah. They actually had the what mountain was that? Was it called the Kulu Mountain? Something like in Nevada. It was like a nuclear storage of nuclear waste, and like everyone in Nevada was against it. So if Vance went in saying, we're gonna build more nuclear reactors and we're gonna build it in Ohio, he's gone. Yucca Mountain, thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Yucca Mountain. That thing went on for 20 years. It went on for 20 years. Everyone in Nevada was against it. You want nuclear energy? Where are you gonna build it? Vance. You know what Tim Walz should have said? You want nuclear energy? Where are you gonna build it? You want nuclear plants in Ohio? How many are gonna build in Ohio? Let's build nuclear plants. JD Vance is promising if Donald Trump gets elected, they're gonna build nuclear plants in Ohio. Just Tim Walz just went at that and completely crushed him. But never mind. Let's go take a look at a few of these clips. We'll end the stream by 2 hours because then otherwise it's too long. We're 1 hour 12 minutes into it. This is fire, guys. This is fire. Let's take a look at the clip by Midas Touch.
Well, that was an excruciating hour and a half watching the vice presidential debate.
Very excruciating.
Between
can you guys hear the audio from the Midas Touch video? If you guys can hear it, I know there's a delay. There's a slight delay in the latency. Sorry, there's a latency between the chat and the stream. If you guys can hear it, I'll play the clip. I mean, if you guys can't hear it, then I can't play it. Oh, you guys can hear it? Okay, let's go with Midas Touch. I wouldn't be monitoring the chat. Wait, let me pull OBS. I think I can undock. There we go. And I undocked the chat. Wait, can I undock the chat? I can't. I'm gonna shrink OBS to the smallest I can. I'm gonna pull everything down. I'm gonna pull everything down. I'm gonna put the chat here. Okay, let's take a look at the clip.
Governor Tim Walz and Senator J.D. Vance.
You've got to re-implement Donald Trump's border policies, build the wall, re-implement deportation, and that gets me to your point.
Build the wall. He finished 2% of the wall with taxpayer money that he promised Mexico would pay for it, which they did not. Drill, baby, drill. Oh, my God. We'll see.
Margaret, about what do we actually do? So we've got 25 million illegal aliens who are here in the country. What do we do with them? I think the first thing that we do is we start with the criminal migrants.
Letting in fentanyl and using kids as drug mules, among other things, regarding children.
The drug mule's not true, but about the fentanyl. This is a crisis of this, the opioid crisis, and the good news on this is
actually, by the way, that's not true.
The largest decrease in opioid deaths
that's
in
not
the
true.
nation's history.
Oh,
percent decrease in Ohio, but there's still more work to do.
I
Oh.
can't say that I had high hopes for this, as you've heard me talk about debates before, that I don't believe we should be doing them here in the United States. I think that they've become vehicles just to get ratings for television news networks and therefore profit, and that really it's a kind of profit-driven model.
Well,
It has
let's go
nothing
to the
do
next
with
part of the
actual
clip.
debates. It's not actually I'm not looking forward to tonight's pointless debate. I put mainly because Vance is a terrible person, and American
Yep,
TV
that's
political
true.
debates
That's true.
are always.
We'll take a look at other clips.
I then
Does he
said
got
that the
any other
pre-show
clips?
analysis on CBS was all over the place, and it was just hearing.
Okay, no other clips. We'll take a look at other clips because there's gonna be some spicy clips coming up. I'm gonna just refresh my homepage. We're gonna take a look at some spicy clips. Oh, the debate. Okay. But JD Vance's microphone. Okay, let's take a look. Okay. Let's take a look at some clips.
And just to clarify for our viewers, Springfield, Ohio does have a large number of Haitian migrants who have legal status, temporary protected status. Nora?
but
Senator, we have so much to get to.
Mark, I think it's important
We're
because
to turn out of the
debate-
economy
the-
thing.
the rules were that you got
economy.
check, and since you're fact checking me, I think it's important to say what's actually going on. There's an application called CBP 1.
This is
where you can go
this
on
is the
and
crazy thing.
apply for asylum or apply for parole and
Oh
be
my
granted
God.
legal status at the wave of a Kamala Harris open border.
Walz is like, what
That is
the
not
hell?
a person coming in, applying for a green card and waiting for 10 years. That
Thank
is
you,
the
Senator.
facilitation of illegal immigration, Margaret, by
Thank
our
you,
own
Senator.
Walz is like,
We have
Kamala
so much
Harris
to get
opened up
to,
that
Senator.
pathway.
Those
We have
laws
so
have been on
much.
the books since 1990.
Thank you, gentlemen.
The
We
CBP
want to have.
Margaret is like, cut his mic, cut Vance's mic, cut it. Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Your mics are cut. We have so much we want to get to. Thank you for explaining.
Awesome.
Nora.
Thank you, Margaret. The economy is a top concern.
Shut up.
for-
Oh my God, dude got owned, man.
I want you to watch the moment that Tim Walz presses JD Vance over whether or not Donald Trump won the 2020 election.
Oh
and
my God.
JD Vance gives a non-answer. Now this whole
Oh,
segment is
this is
incredible.
painful.
Let's
This is
watch.
very
Now, the
painful.
thing I'm most concerned about is the idea that imprisoning your political opponents, already laying the groundwork for people not accepting this. And a president's
Yep.
words matter. A
Yep.
president's words
Yep.
matter.
It does.
People hear that. So I think this issue of settling our differences at the ballot box, shaking hands when we lose, being
Yep.
honest about it, but
Yep.
to deny what happened on January 6th, the first time in American history
Yep.
that a president or anyone tried to overturn a fair election and the peaceful transfer of power. And here we are 4 years later in the same boat. I will tell you this, that when this is over...
Exactly, you're right, Ryan.
shake hands, this election,
If the immigrants all left, America will
be the winner.
collapse.
This has got
But
to
it's
stop.
okay.
It's tearing our
Eh,
country
never
apart.
mind.
Yep.
Margaret?
Senator Vance, did you want to respond to that?
Yeah, well, look, Tim, first of all, it's really rich for Democratic leaders to say that Donald Trump is a unique threat to democracy when he peacefully gave over power.
Yeah,
on
after he
January
failed the
20th,
coup.
as we have done for 250 years in this country.
That is such a slippery answer. Donald Trump went out kicking and screaming. He tried to subvert the will of the American people in 100 different
After
ways.
he failed the
Came up with
violent
theory
attempt.
with John Eastman that was
Of course he has to
unconstitutional.
yeah, of
You don't
course
even
he has to
talk about
settle for the
on
second
January
best.
6th, he undermined the
You think
election
if he
for
won on the
legislative
Capitol, he would have
privilege.
conceded?
Went,
Really?
went away on January 20th was not true. To this day, he says the election was stolen, and watch how Tim Walz cleverly traps him here.
We're going to shake hands after this debate and after this election. And of course, I hope that we win, and I think we're going to win. But if Tim Walz is the next vice president, he'll have my prayers, he'll have my best wishes, and he'll
Okay,
have my help
okay,
whenever
okay.
he wants it. But we have to remember that for years in this country, Democrats protested the results of elections.
No,
Hillary Clinton
no,
in 2016
no.
said that
Look at Walz! Look at Walz! Look at his face! Look at his face! It's like, what?
Election, that
Look at his face!
middle of the night, she called Donald Trump and said, "You."
Yes,
Donald
she
Trump
called
said
Donald Trump and told her
2020
he won.
was a fundamental difference.
Vladimir Putin, because the Russians bought like $500,000.
Look at Walz. Look at Walz.
This
What?
has been going on for a long time. If we want to say that we
Look
need
at
to
Walz.
respect the results of the election, I'm on board. But if we want to say, as Tim
This
Walz
got like the
saying that
question
this
marks
is
coming out of his
Republicans have
speech
had,
bubble.
I don't buy that.
It is absolutely just a problem that Republicans have had. I mean, time and time again, Donald Trump has said the election was stolen. He said that there was massive, widespread fraud. No Democrat
my
has ever
God.
used rhetoric even close to that.
Yep.
No Democrat has ever said that there were ballots planted in machines in key swing states.
Nope.
No Democrat has
Nope.
ever had their entire cabinet, like Rudy Giuliani, sued after making
Nope.
up lies.
Nope.
Watch how Tim Walz traps him. Just wait for it.
Governor.
January 6th was not Facebook ads.
Ooh.
A revisionist history on this. Look,
Ooh.
I don't
Oh.
understand how we got to
Oh my
this
God.
point. But the issue was that happened.
Exactly.
Can you do it? And all of us say there's
John
no
Martin.
place for this.
Vance was hanging himself with these answers. You are right. Sorry, I talked over the good part.
Donald Trump, can you do it? And all of us say there's no place for this. It has massive repercussions.
Okay, honestly, Tim Walz sounds like Christopher Hitchens right now. Play this part back. Listen to him like he's Hitch slapping Vance right now.
We got to this point. But the issue was that happened. Donald Trump, can you do it? And all of us say there's no place for this. It has massive repercussions. This idea that there's censorship to stop people from threatening to kill someone, threatening to do something, that's not censorship.
Exactly.
Censorship is book banning.
Oh!
We've seen that brought up. I just think for
Killed it.
everyone tonight, and I'm going to thank Senator Vance. I think this is the conversation they want to hear. And I think there's a lot of agreement. This is one that we are miles apart on.
Ooh.
This was a threat to our democracy in a way that we had not seen. And it manifested itself.
Vance was looking at the camera like, shit.
He is
Wait. Let's go back. Let's go back. Wait. Let's go back. Wait. We caught it. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna pause. Oh, hold on.
This was a threat to our democracy in a way that we had not seen.
Look at Vance. He's like, uh-oh. He got me, boy.
And it manifested itself because of Donald Trump's inability to say. He is still saying he didn't lose the election. I would just say,
Exactly. Well said. This is the moment right here. Watch.
did he lose the 2020 election?
Tim, I'm focused on the fact did Kamala Harris censor Americans from speaking?
What? Tim Walz is like, what?
Of the 2020 COVID situation.
That is a damning non-answer.
Slam dunk.
Obviously, Donald Trump and I think that there were problems in 2020. We've talked about it. I'm happy to talk about it further. But you guys attack us for not believing in democracy. The most sacred
It's over, bro. It's over. Well, let's look at another clip. Oh my god. This is insane. Like it's over, bro. Trump doesn't read books, so banning it. No, Trump keeps Mein Kampf by his side. No, there's a better book than Mein Kampf. You know what that is? The Project 2025 documents. That's longer and better. Let's take it another clip. Let's take it. Oh, nice, wholesome stuff. German Shepherd shocked by tiny kittens. You want to watch that? I'm gonna watch it after the 2-hour mark. We'll cross that and then we'll just watch some vibes stuff. Cause I like good vibes. We'll keep this. Yeah, we'll keep the German Shepherd shocked by tiny kittens occupying dog bed. We'll watch that. Let's go. MAGA is done. Trump is losing it. Wait, hold on. Let's take a. Are there more clips? I want to see more clips. Come on. Vice presidential debate. Best moments. Highlights of the debate. Sky News. It's only 2 minutes. Bro, I really want to see some clips, man, but I can't find it. Maybe I should make some. Okay, let's take a look at NBC News. Okay, this is not really a clip. This is like a post-debate situation room type thing.
real-time visibility across our hydrocarbon supply chain.
Help keep our shelf. Senior national correspondent Kate Snow, who watched that debate with voters, some of whom, Kate, have settled on who they want, some of whom are undecided, but all of them live in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You know, my home state, Kate. Talk me through what you're hearing from folks.
That's right. Yeah, and they all live within the confines, right around Pittsburgh, and we're in Pittsburgh right now. And I have to say, this is Allegheny County, Hallie, and you probably know this, but last election, there were 25 municipalities here where the vote was within 5%. So, I mean, it is tight in this county, and you all know that. You all feel that there's a lot of pressure on these swing areas.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about Project 20. Yeah, of course he doesn't.
Two really very much pro-Harris. You were probably for Harris. You guys were you were more unsure. And then we had two people who were really considering Donald Trump, including Brian. And Brian, I want to go to you because it's been fascinating to get your read on what happened tonight. Because you seem like you went in sort of wanting to like J.D. Vance and thinking about Trump.
Yeah, so I really did. You're right about that. He just danced around a lot of questions.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think I said earlier that Walz was sort of like placating to the people.
He was.
And Vance was just sort of dancing around questions. So my opinion on things really hasn't changed too much.
No problem.
But
you're drawn to Trump because of economic considerations.
Definitely.
That's the big thing for you.
Yeah.
But everything else, it seems like you're maybe drawn to Harris.
Yes, certainly. So very sort of socially liberal, I guess. I mean, I thought if you were going to say who won tonight, I would say that Tim Walz won.
Of course.
Everybody say that Walz won this debate. A show of hands. Sure. Okay.
She's peer pressured. She wants to say he didn't win, but she's like, everyone's saying he won. I don't want to look like the only idiot here.
But you came into this not knowing. You said to me a few minutes ago, you're still not sure who you're going to vote for. You may not vote at all.
Oh no!
Remember during the big section of the debate that was about abortion, you were having some strong reactions to some of that.
Again, it's very hard to look at two men telling you what to do. Decisions are between a woman and her doctor, and there should be no one that interferes with that.
Yeah, that's what Tim Walz said. Wait, hold on. What is she talking about? What was she talking about? That's the exact line Tim Walz used. It's the exact line, almost verbatim. What is she talking about? What? Did she watch the debate? Two men telling women? No! What she said was literally what Walz said, almost word for word. The hell is she talking about? Did she watch the debate?
Ridiculous that we are even in support. If Donald Trump or Joe Biden cared about this country, neither one of them would have won for election, right? We wouldn't be in this situation. They're 80 years old.
Dude, abortion. Donald Trump's appointed judges single-handedly repealed Roe v. Wade without going through Congress. What do you mean Joe Biden? What did Joe Biden do? What's up with this, what's with this, I'm above it all centrist, bipartisan bullcrap? What did Joe Biden do to overturn Roe v. Wade? What do you mean Biden? What did Biden do? What?
Joe Biden has already, rescinded his nomination and everything. So we're talking about two people who probably should have run at all. And we're talking about two parties who gave us two candidates. Like, again, if you cared about us, we're oh, does that person care about me? No, they don't, because they wouldn't be there if they did. And they would have passed the torch to someone who is younger, is more capable, is less volatile.
Yeah, like Kamala Harris. Yeah, like, is this woman living under a rock? What is she talking about? Guys, can someone say something? Am I the crazy one here? Am I the one who's out of touch with reality? Guys, tell me something. Tell me I'm not crazy, please. What is she talking about?
It could have won a real truth.
John, Cloudless, Ryan, Neko, what if?
I mean, I didn't get a really
please tell me something.
Election for either candidate. and stuff. Like,
What?
we love seeing a big panel of Democratic Party, candidates and a big panel of Republican Party candidates and making our own choices. Instead, we again got handed two people. And that was our decision. It's not like we had a real
exactly, Carlos. You're right.
Rhetoric around who was going to be our next president.
Meryl, you were really reacting to the very end of the debate when they were talking about January 6th, and they were talking about what happened on that day. And you're a very pro-Harris person, even coming in tonight.
Like, yeah, these focus group people. Where are they getting these people from? Like, where do they live? Where do they live, bro? Yeah, you're right. They're like jacked up. They're jacked up on something. Whatever they're smoking, better give me some. Now, what the hell are they talking about? She literally... has she not been alive for the past 4 years or 2 years ever since the overturn of Roe v. Wade? The hell was she talking about?
So what was it that was bothering you as you watched that?
What really bothered me was how J.D. Vance pivoted the question and turned it into, really defended Donald Trump's position on January 6th. And the fact
you're right, Claudius.
He tried to avoid the answer, but it was really more about not recognizing, I wear this yellow pin for the hostages that are being held in Gaza. Donald Trump calls the insurrectionists that have been jailed after court trials they're now being jailed in Washington. He calls them hostages. I find that incredibly, incredibly offensive. They're
insulting.
Not hostages. They're prisoners.
Insulting.
They're people who were convicted and put in jail.
Insulting.
And they were convicted of causing an insurrection, of violating the Capitol, of the people's house.
Violation. That's what it is.
An attempt to justify that or turn it into something, calling them patriots, I find incredibly, incredibly offensive.
John, I think you
offensive.
Had a
very offensive.
Reaction.
Yeah, the one point I thought was telling was that J.D. Vance tried to say that he was defending Trump's right. He wanted to have a debate in the public square, and then January 20th happened, and he left the office, and he completely yada the insurrection at the Capitol. And I thought it was interesting that in his argument for having that debate, he says that it's our freedom of speech to allow misinformation, which it was interesting because most of his responses I thought were, he sounded well, he's very well poised, but they were like dodges and mistruths, and he got away with that throughout the night. Whereas Walz, I thought, responded very quickly with interesting points, with statistics and actual actual
facts and policy. There we go.
I want to ask you, because on the issue of Israel and foreign policy, you were thinking about voting for Trump. You said a couple of weeks ago you were really strongly considering voting for Trump, and now you're not so sure. What did you not hear tonight? Was there something J.D. Vance could have said to make you go, yeah, that's what I'm doing?
I mean, I think that if either of them would have made very, very clear statements about support for our strongest ally in the Middle East, support for Israel, about
Walz did.
any kind of appeasement policy
toward
Iran or toward other Islamic
No, not appeasement. No.
Toward ensuring that we are, well, he did say, I mean,
yeah, he did.
Vance said peace through strength. I mean, obviously, it's just like a slogan.
No, Vance, what the hell?
That there is a party that would actually live that slogan. That's something that I find really, really valuable and something that I would be paying attention to. Getting the American hostages out. I mean, the reality is, I don't know if Trump would have done a better job, but we have had a Biden administration, and there are American hostages, not just Israeli hostages. There are American hostages that are languishing in Gaza. There are Americans who have been killed in Gaza, and I don't think the administration is doing anywhere near enough to get them out.
I should mention that both Rona and Meryl, you're part of the Jewish community here in Pittsburgh, which is a sizable community.
Okay.
For the
That's a fair point.
I want to turn to you, Brandon, because you were basically with Harris. You feel even more strongly that way, I think, if I'm reading you right, after the debate.
Okay, dude. Sorry, guys. I know I'm not supposed to do this, but damn, his hairstyle. What? Those are not your average dreads, right? I hope I'm not being racist. I want to get that. I want to get that. Do you think I'll look good in that? That's pretty damn cool. This is the first time I saw that. That's pretty damn cool.
Appreciate that.
Well, number one, Vance.
Yo, this guy's got style, bro. This guy's lit.
In immigration to the housing crisis, which is, in my opinion, dishonest. That is not something that is
exactly
prevalent to affect everybody across the board. What's happening here is he's putting more fear on this, and he's only talking about the southern border. And when I hear the southern border, obviously I hear the Latino community. So that's just more fear mongering. What we see
and warmongering too.
Acquire equity.
Very unique style, John Martin. I can't pull that off. I promise you, it'll look stupid on me, but it looks good on him.
Unfortunately,
the glasses too.
That's not directly linked to the immigration.
There you go.
Way that Vance is talking about.
Dude, this guy is facts and logic.
Illegal immigrants are not sitting in the C-suites denying home loans.
Oh.
C-suites denying these opportunities.
Oh.
People are trying to get equity, or people are trying to. Family in a safe environment, because
oh my God,
being housed goes beyond just simply having a home, but it goes to being safe also.
Oh my God, dude, this guy. Okay, if he's not running for VP from 10 years down the road, I'm gonna call him up, be like, bro, what are you doing? Run for the VP, bro. This guy's got it. This guy's the logic and reason guy. Exactly, like how is border security and immigration a different issue? Like, if you have border security, which is a bipartisan border deal, don't you think that's gonna help with immigration control? What the hell? Yeah, what's up with the immigrant hatred of the legal immigrants that are already in? Especially for like the Haitian dog eating comment. Like, what the hell?
To all of you for staying up really late tonight. Hallie, I have to say, this is a late night for everybody. It's not a scientific sample, but it's interesting to hear what a group of people thought.
It's interesting, except that one woman who's like, both sides bad. What? Both sides are equally bad when it came to abortion? Really? Yeah, everyone was good, including the blue shirt guy who's voting for Trump. I agree with some of the things he said. I don't agree with his vote, but he was actually talking some sense. But that woman is like, what is she talking about? What? Where are they getting these people from? It's crazy stuff. What's the time now? What's the time? How long have we been on this? Sorry. Let me pull up the timer because I don't want to drag this on forever. We are 1 hour 36. We can have more clips. Do you guys like these clips? Tell me. You guys like these clips? I'll just drop more because I got time. If you guys like it, I got time. 8 p.m. in New Zealand. I don't know what time is it in the United States. It must be very late in the United States. People are gonna come back to watch the stream. Like a lot of my subscribers are coming back. But I don't want to drag it out too long. But do you guys like what we're doing now? We can go on. I can drag this. I can make it 3 hours, 4 hours. This is a once in a lifetime moment. I can do this the whole day. If you guys like it, we can do it. Bonnie Squirrel said, "Lol, Walz clearly didn't win. They clearly took notes of." Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Aren't you supposed to take notes? Like I thought that was a good practice. You think that's not a winning move? It's kind of weird. I mean, thank you for your comment. Thank you for your response. But I think it was brilliant that Tim Walz was taking notes. Surely it was brilliant. Let's take a look at the comments. Bro, look at the comments. The first comment, guys, look. The lady is lying when she says difficult to look at two men talking about a woman's body. Tim Walz push it back severely. I think he's trying to say severely by saying the choice is left to women. So what is he saying? What? You believe so strongly in abortion, but you're undecided. What? Oh, what? Guys, you see, I'm not the only one saying this. Bro, I'm liking this. What is she even saying? She has freaking no clue. She has no clue. What? She has no clue. What the hell? Oh my god. This is one of the women votes who are like going for Trump. I'm sorry, man. I was on the verge of saying something sexist, but I don't want to do that. Because I'm not risking my YouTube account for someone this intellectually uneducated. Okay? That's all I can say. That's all I can say. I'm mad. I'm kind of mad now. Do we want to look at some German Shepherd cute videos? We'll do that maybe. Young Turks, no, I don't like the Young Turks. I'm not watching that. Breaks down Jimmy Kimmel, if I can speak. Thank you. 11 minutes. Yeah, my internet is lagging. That's why I cut the live stream. You guys can see this, right?
Got finished watching the vice presidential debate between two men who couldn't be much more different. One of them called Donald Trump a reprehensible idiot who shouldn't be president.
Yep.
The other is Tim Walz. Walz and Vance, they stuck to the issues. They showed each other a lot of respect. It was very boring. To be honest. I like this better with Trump. I really do. I don't know that anyone's vote was changed tonight. Watching a vice presidential debate it's like taking your kids apple picking. About halfway through, you're like, okay, you know what? This sounded like it was gonna be fun, but what's the point? But it did help us to get.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Jank and Anna. Honestly, no. But is Jimmy gonna play any clips? Cause I want to take a look at the clips. Where are the clips? Okay, here's a clip. Let's take a look at that.
That I agree with. I agree, and I actually think I agree with you. I actually agree with you.
The consensus.
Vance said, Governor, I agree with you.
This is a drudge.
I think that Governor Walz and I actually probably agreed.
Well, Trump is not going to like that at all.
Yes, he's not.
JD. I was kind of hoping they'd ask the candidates like some fun questions. Like, you know, they used to do that. Like, is a hot dog a sandwich? And then JD Vance would stare into the camera and say, when you're from Haiti, any dog can be a sandwich.
Oh.
They didn't. There was no. They could have used a lot more talk about cats and dog eating. CBS opted not to fact check the debate live. Instead, they put a QR code on the screen that you could scan with your phone, and it would take you to a website that had fact checks posted in real time. I love that CBS thinks their viewers know how to use a QR code.
Oh, wait. Guys, we can go to the where is it? I'm gonna scan it. Where's the QR code? Where is it? Where's the QR code? I missed that, guys. I want to fact check. Where's the QR code? That would be interesting. Honestly, that would be interesting. Where's the QR code? Fact checked. Hold on. Fact check. CBS. VP debate. Let's go. Fact checking and analysis. This is from New York Times. Okay, but where is the fact check? Where is it? Okay, garbage. We don't have it. Live updates and fact check. There we go. Okay, whatever. Where's the fact check? 4 hours ago. Where is the... Okay, here we go. Oh, this is a bad claim by Walz. Oh my god, the visiting China. Stupid, just stupid. This is a bad moment for Walz. No, but where's the fact check? No, Walz was nervous at the beginning, but afterwards he did better. Where's the fact check? Okay, I think I'm. Oh, this is mostly false. The fact check have the current administration policies driven up heating costs. This is mostly false. Okay. Does Minnesota abortion law denies life-saving care to infants? This is false, guys. Guys, we got the fact checks. We got the fact checks going on. False. Fact checked. This is misleading. Exactly. No, Trump is not trying to debate election problem. He literally said they didn't lose. What the hell? Okay. Where more fact checks? Let's go. Fact check. Are border crossings down compared to when Trump left office? This needs context. Okay, sure. That's sure fine. We'll give him that. Did Trump say no? He did not. He tried to take it out. This is vehemently false. This is false. No, it's false. Did Iran receive $100 billion in unfrozen asset from the U.S.? This is I don't give a shit, honestly. I don't give a damn about this. I don't give a damn. Where's the next fact check? Let's scroll more and more. Vance falsely claimed Trump didn't get rid of Obamacare. That is just dumb. That's just dumb. Okay. More fact checks. More. No more fact checks. Is that it? Is that the whole fact check? I'm pretty sure he made even more false. Where's the app? Where's the Oh, here. This is false. Yes, I knew it. 1 million migrants who cross. This is vehemently false. What the hell? Abortion. Come on. I'm pretty sure there are more facts. This needs context. You know what? We can give him. It's okay. We'll give him this. It's okay. Fact checked. This is false. This is false. Biden did not deploy more than 40,000 troops to the Middle East. This is false. Guys, I'm running through all the checks. I'm running through all the checks. Is housing 60% more? Well, it's 25%. So this is exaggeration. Well, he's right about the rising housing costs, which is caused by Donald Trump's horrendous handling of COVID crisis. But it's okay. This is false. Come on, we know this is false. We know this is false. Yale's environmental performance. Dude, Europe is leading US. Come on. Trust the experts. Ha 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 ha. Let's take more look. Yeah, microphone got cut. There are more facts, I bet you. This needs context, whatever. I'm looking for all the false claims. Yeah, of course he's slamming the moderator. How are they extremely biased? They didn't even fact check Vance. How many lies did he make? More fact checks. This guy. Who's this guy? Brandon Davis. Let's remember Brandon Davis. Vance. Whatever. Weird science. No. Let's scroll down. Any more fact checks? We'll go all the way to the bottom. We're gonna go all the way to the bottom of this. I think that's it. I think we don't got nothing else. Yeah, I think we don't got nothing else. I don't know how many times Vance lied, but many times. Oh, this is from CBS. Okay, let's take a look at CBS. Maybe they've got a more comprehensive list. Vance said nope, not true. False. That's two. Say Trump could have. Yeah, that's the second one. That's the third one. Right. This is okay. We'll consider this one on Walz. So it's 3 against 1. We'll be fair. 3 against 1. False. No. She's not a border czar. This is 4 against 1. Okay, you know what? Okay, fine. We'll let it slide. CBS says this. There's partial truth. We'll let it slide. Yeah, okay, sure. Okay. Okay, this was false. So it's 4 against 2. This is false. Walz said that it's false. This is true. Walz, this is true. Partially true. Okay, sure. Walz claimed, no, this is true. What do you mean needs caught? This is true. Whatever. Okay, this is false. False. Okay, that's 5 against 3. 6 against 3. Clean error. 6 against 3. Partially true. Whatever. That's 6 against 3. Vance lied twice as much as Walz. That's giving him all the credit we could give him. Okay? You know what? Vance, honestly, and that's on top of the fact that he didn't go anything policy inwards, right? He didn't do anything policy related. He just lied. That's it. And I guess, you know what? I'm going to cut the stream in like 10 minutes. We're just going to watch one more clip, and then I'm going to cut the stream. JD Vance being racist. Let's go on. The election. Well, you know what? We'll just watch one more clip. What's takedown? Did we watch this just now? Well, I got a notification. We'll take a look at that.
Let me show you the final moment of the debate where I believe Governor Walz won this debate against J.D. Vance. One of the most damning moments I saw.
Yep.
And those are the exact words that Governor Walz used in the debate. Here, play this clip.
Ability to say he is still
exactly. The moderator should have shut them up.
Did he lose the 2020 election?
Tim, I'm focused on the future. Did Kamala Harris censor Americans from speaking their mind?
Okay, Walz is like,
COVID situation.
He's in so much pain.
That is a damning non-answer.
That's what exactly Hitchens what I said.
Censorship. Obviously, Donald Trump and I think that there were problems in 2020. We've talked about it. I'm happy to talk about it further.
And unfortunately, in this debate, they saved the question of democracy until the very, very end. And that's where Governor Walz, I thought, went on the offense and won this thing. I think he started off slower, but
he kind of started off losing, honestly.
Point out that this is very, very alarming that J.D. Vance will enable Donald Trump to overthrow our democracy. Here, play this clip.
Because look, when Mike Pence made that decision to certify that election, that's why Mike Pence isn't on this stage. What I'm concerned about is where is the firewall with Donald Trump? Where is the firewall if he knows he could do anything, including taking an election, and his vice president's not going to stand to it? That's what we're asking you, America. Will you stand up? Will you keep your oath of office, even if the president doesn't? And I think Kamala Harris would agree. She wouldn't have picked me if she didn't think I would do that. Because, of course, that's what we would do. So, America, I think you've got a really clear choice on this.
Vance, look at how Vance is like, oh, shit. Look at his face. Wait. Look at his face. Look at his face here. It's like, oh, yikes. It's not good. Yikes. He's looking at the camera like, I don't know what to say here. And Walz is like, bro, answer this question. and Vance is like, destroyed.
This election of who's going to honor that democracy and who's going to honor Donald Trump.
There was a moment earlier in the debate as well where J.D. Vance had his mic cut off because he was just continuing to blabber and lie. Let me show you that moment right here. Let's play it.
Yeah, blabber and lie.
Been on the book since 1990.
Thank you, gentlemen.
The CBP app has not been on the books since 1990. It's something that Kamala Harris created.
Gentlemen, the audience can't hear you because your mics are cut. We have so much we want to get to. Thank you for explaining the legal process. Nora. Thank you.
J.D. Vance was asked again, would he challenge this year's election results, even if every governor certifies them? He couldn't answer that question. I wish they would have started the debate with this. Play this.
Vance, you have said you would not have certified the last presidential election and would have asked the states to submit alternative electors. That has been called unconstitutional and illegal. Would you again seek to challenge this year's election results, even if every governor certifies the results? I'll give you 2 minutes.
Well, Nora, first of all, I think that we're focused on the future. We need to figure out how to solve the inflation crisis caused by Kamala Harris's policies.
Harris bad. Harris bad. It's all Harris bad. I didn't study this Friday election. Harris bad. Harris bad. Harris bad. Okay, done.
Said is that there were problems in 2020, and
they're problems. They're problems. They're problems. Harris bad. They're problems.
Peacefully in the public square, and that's all I've said, and that's all that Donald Trump has said. Remember, he said that on January the 6th,
JD Vance is literally incapable of giving a straight answer on anything.
What happened?
At all. Even on the issues that benefits him, he can't give a straight answer. Ryan, you're right.
All of the negative policies that have come from the Harris.
Yeah, it keeps up the veil of mysticism. It leaves the audience to imagine and fill in their own imaginations of why their candidate is the best candidate. But for independents, this is a disaster.
Again, he was just doing word salad the entire
word salad.
Play this clip.
And I think what President Trump is saying is
like
that
Jordan Peterson.
This additional revenue with higher economic growth, we're going to be able to provide paid family leave, childcare options that are viable and workable for a lot of American families.
Walz.
If I told you
no ads. We're gonna look at Walz. We're gonna look at Walz.
Can you clarify how that will?
Can you clarify?
Shortage.
Well, because as Tim said, a lot of the child care shortage is we just don't have enough resources going into the multiple people who could be providing.
Yeah, so what are they going to do?
And we're going to have to, unfortunately, we're going to have to spend more money. We're going to have to induce more people to want to provide child care.
Walz is like, damn, that is sad.
Because the reason it's so expensive right now is because you've got way too few people providing this very essential service.
Governor Walz calling out Donald Trump for having a concept of a plan and wanting to repeal the Affordable Care Act. Let's play it.
ACA.
This issue, and when Donald Trump said, I've got a concept of a plan, it cracked me up as a fourth grade teacher because my kids would have never given me that. But what Senator Vance just explained might be worse than a concept, because what he explained is pre-Obamacare. And I'll make this as simple as possible because I have done this for a long time. What they're saying is, if you're healthy, why should you be paying more? So what they're going to do is let insurance companies pick who they insure, because guess what happens? You pay your premium, it's not much. They figure they're not going to have to pay out to you. But those of you a little older, gray, got cancer, you're going to get kicked out of it. That's why the system didn't work. Kamala Harris will protect and enhance the ACA.
Governor
Policy, let's go.
Donald Trump's failure on
COVID. Walz won by simply being more genuine, honest, authentic, and on the point.
Yeah, well, Kamala Harris's day one was Donald Trump's failure on COVID that led to the collapse for our for COVID in a manufacturing recession. 10 million people out of work, largest percentage since the Great Depression. 9 million jobs closed on.
Yeah, Walz is just a better politician. JD is this like centrist, play both sides nonsense. Come on.
The question got asked when Donald Trump made the accusation that wasn't true about Minnesota. Well, let me tell you about this idea that there's diverse states. There's a young woman named Amber Thurman.
Killed it.
Be in Georgia.
Dude, this is it. Guys, this is it. Killed it. From this point on, Vance is rolling down the hill non-stop. This is it. This is where it all started.
State. Because of that, she had to travel a long distance to North Carolina to try and get her care. Amber Thurman died in that journey back and forth. The fact of the matter is, how can we as a nation say that your life and your rights, as basic as the right to control your own body, is determined on geography? There's a very real chance, had Amber Thurman lived in Minnesota, she would be alive today.
Here, Governor Walz points out
Trump. It's over. It's over. At this point, this was before the second half. At this point, it's over. It's already over.
Continues to call the climate and climate change a hoax. Let's play it.
First of all, it is a horrific tragedy with this hurricane. And my heart goes out to the folks that are down there in contact with the governors. I serve as co-chair of the Council of Governors as we work together on these emergency managements. Governors know no partisanship. They work together to solve. The governors and the emergency responders are on the ground. Those happen on the front end. The federal government comes in, makes sure they're there that we recover, but we're still in that phase where we need to make sure that they're staying there, staying focused. Now, look, coming back to the climate change issue, there's no doubt this thing roared onto the scene faster and stronger than anything we've seen. Senator Vance has said that there's a climate problem in the past. Donald Trump called it a hoax.
Hoax.
And then joked that these things would make more beachfront property to be able to invest in. We've seen out of
to who, Ben?
administration now.
Sell to who? Aquaman?
This investment. We've seen massive investments, the biggest in global history that we've seen in the Inflation Reduction Act, has created jobs all across the country. 2,000 in Jeffersonville, Ohio, taking the EV technology that we invented and making it here. 200,000 jobs across the country. The largest solar manufacturing plant in North America sits in Minnesota. But my farmers know climate change is real. They've seen 500-year droughts, 500-year floods back to back. But what they're doing is adapting, and this has allowed them to tell me, look, I harvest corn, I harvest soybean, and I harvest wind. We are producing more
He's
natural
getting the
gas
farmers.
and more oil at any time than we ever have. We're also producing more clean energy. So the solution for us is to continue to move forward, that climate change is real. Reducing our impact is absolutely critical, but this is
Exactly.
not a choice.
The extreme weather events are crazy.
Creating the jobs that we're seeing all across the country. That's exactly what this administration has done. We are seeing us becoming an energy superpower for the future, not just the current. And that's what absolutely makes sense. And then we start thinking about how do we mitigate these disasters.
There we go, Walz. He's on point. Walz is so on point.
Look, we fix this issue with a bill that is necessary, but the issue on this is what happens when you don't want to solve it. You demonize it. And we do this. And Senator Vance, and it surprises me on this, talking about and saying, I will create stories to bring attention to this. Vilified a large number of people who were here legally in the community of Springfield. The Republican governor said, it's not true. Don't do it. There's consequences for this. There's consequences.
Yep.
We could come together. Senator Langford did it. We could
Yep.
come together and solve this if we didn't let Donald Trump continue to make it an issue. And the consequences in Springfield were the governor had to send state law enforcement.
Thank you for the hearts.
Kindergartners to school. I believe.
Thank you for the
Senator Vance
hearts.
wants to
Whoever
solve
that's
this,
clicking it,
but
thank
by
you.
standing with Donald Trump and not working together to find a solution, it becomes a talking point. And when it becomes a talking point like this,
Thank
we
you so much for the
demonize
hearts.
and villainize other human beings.
Yep. Yep.
And here, Governor Walz
Yep.
says he doesn't like to talk about a religion always in public, but here's what he says. Let's play.
I don't talk about my faith a lot, but Matthew 25:40 talks about, to the least amongst us you do unto me. I think that's true of most Americans. They simply want order to it. This bill does it. It's funded.
Yep.
It's supported by the people who do it, and it lets us keep our dignity about how we treat other people.
Anyway, tell me
Yep.
what you thought about the debate. My overall view
Yep.
was I thought that Governor Walz started off slower than I would have liked. I thought that
He started bad. He
was a bit
started
weak.
bad.
He seemed a bit nervous in my
Yep,
opinion.
he's showing you who the
J.D.
real
Vance
Christian
talked
is in the
a lot
room.
about everything, but had a stronger start. I think it evened out after the first commercial break. Then I thought there was that final moment where Governor Walz dropped the hammer. I thought it was a game changer right there. As lots of
No, Trump will call Jesus woke.
As David
Necker, what if?
Vance was doing well tonight, and then Walz asked a direct question about the 2020 election, and Vance ran
Yep.
from it like a bat out of hell. I agree with that right there. Anyway, hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers. Thanks
All
for
right.
watching.
Thank you, Midas Touch. Thank you, Midas Touch. I think we can do just one more clip. Just one more. No more than one.
Talk about the state of
We'll finish this clip and we'll finish up the stream. Just one more clip.
The top issue for Americans after the economy and inflation. After the 2020 election, President Trump's campaign and others filed 62 lawsuits contesting the results. Judges, including those appointed by President Trump and other Republican presidents, looked at the evidence
Vance is
and said
spineless.
there was no widespread fraud. The governors of every state in the nation, Republicans and Democrats, certified the 2020 election results and sent a legal slate of electors to Congress
Nah, we're not watching
for
that.
January 6th. Senator Vance, you have said you would not have certified the last presidential election and would have asked the states to submit alternative electors. That has been called unconstitutional and illegal. Would you again seek to challenge
Okay,
this year?
you know what? We'll watch this one. We'll watch this one. We'll watch Denver political scientist. Come on, no ads, no ads, no ads, no ads. Okay, Denver political science expert shares potential impact of Walz Vance presidential debate.
Science assistant professor Michael Greenberg, thank you for sticking with us through this. I want your take on this. You mentioned earlier the completely different tone we'd seen tonight as compared to previous debates. So the Trump campaign has always been, at least as far as the election, they keep.
Oh, look at the MAGAs! Look at the MAGAs! Oh.
When the moderators tonight pressed
the MAGA, look at the MAGAs.
About the election,
Prof is cool. The experts are wrong. The experts are always wrong. They're always wrong.
Peaceful transfer of power.
Oh my God.
Trump left. Biden is in office, and so
the expert is always wrong.
I've never heard that camp.
No, but JD Vance can't be confrontational because he's gonna get wrecked by Tim Walz.
How they left
didn't happen.
Yeah, so very interesting, I thought.
Yeah, I think that was a smart tactic from the Vance and Trump camp, right? So they said there was eventually a peaceful transition of power, which is of course true if you ignore all the non-peaceful transition of power that came before that. So on January 6th, you ignore all of the lawsuits and legal trouble instigated by the Trump campaign, then sure, eventually there was a peaceful transition of power. But certainly, right, there was
experts are wrong because they don't agree with me.
Transitions that are necessary for a democracy to function, and the Trump campaign seems poised to repeat very similar tactics should they lose the election again this time around.
Let's talk a little bit about the format of the debate. There was no fact-checking in the debate as it was ongoing. There was one fiery moment during the debate where JD Vance
Alan Lichtman, yes, predicted.
He was this wasn't in
he predicted almost every election,
which was kind of surprising to find out those were the rules that they agreed to. Do you think not fact-checking benefited either JD Vance or Tim Walz, or possibly hurt one of those candidates during this debate?
Well, it's hard to know because we don't have a debate where the two of them participate with fact-checking to compare it against. I think both candidates, compared to the debates we've seen recently, did a pretty good job of sticking to close to the truth, or much closer than other candidates have done.
Other candidates, huh? Who could that be?
Steering the conversation.
Who could that be? Other candidates.
Sort of forced to talk about things they had said or not.
Yeah, Gen 6 will haunt them forever. Forever.
Were avoiding talking about certain topics. As for sticking to the fact checking, it will sort of remain to be seen in the next days as media fact checks what each of the candidates said.
All right, about 30 seconds left here. I know this is an abridged campaign with Harris jumping in so late as the nominee, and not the length of tonight's debate, but do you think that this has been and will be enough for voters to make an informed decision?
Probably not.
I think that by now, voters have had enough experience with Trump and sort of the Biden-Harris administration that there's a wealth of information available for them to make a choice. I think, again, very few undecided voters.
Alan Lichtman is good.
Presidential debates, so I think all the facts people need are on the table.
All right, Michael Greenberg, thank you so much. I think I speak for all of us. We've just really enjoyed having you here. Thanks for your expertise tonight.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right.
All right, with 5 weeks left till the election, Denver City is your one-stop shop with this major election year. So stay up to date with this election cycle with local and national stories to help you make a decision at the polls. You could do
it doesn't really matter. That's right, Neko. It's like he's got such a strong cult following that the thing is about are the independents convinced? And the fact that JD Vance was not able to be on point on almost every question would have completely disappointed on any independents who are still on the fence. That's my claim. That's what I claim. And we've gone way past 2 hours now. We are 2 hours 7 minutes. You know what? I think. Yeah, those voters already decided. Nothing else matters. What matters is getting the rest, which are the very small sliver of independents. But that matters. That matters because in swing states, that could change the outcome of the election. This is what's stupid about Electoral College, but that's the system we have today, right? We just have to deal with it, unfortunately. Last thing to check, we got 20 votes for who won the VP debate. And it's 80% for Tim Walz, 20% for JD Vance. And if I do my math right, it went up to 81% now, but 80% is 16 votes. Now 17 votes for Walz, and I think that's 4 votes for JD Vance. If I were to put my vote in, that would be 18 votes for Walz and only 4 or 5 for Vance. Well, this is pretty close to Alan Lichtman's live stream just, I think, a few hours ago, where the outcome was 84% to 16%. I think that was the number. But pretty much this is the number. More than 80% and less than 20%. Because Walz really finished strong. He really put Vance down in the drain. He really put Vance... Yeah, he won the debate by being a man of principle, by sticking to the point, sticking to the policy. I mean, that's how he won. That's how he won. And honestly, Vance, you might think he did a good job by not screwing up like Trump. But again, like the debate wasn't necessarily for us. It was kind of for the independents. And to the independents, we have seen the breakout rooms, the focus group post-debate. Despite that we saw some crazies like the woman we just met in that video, everyone else was basically, actually Vance dodged every question. Like, actually Vance didn't do a good job. And that was the thing. So for the independents, Vance just crashed, man. Vance took a big one. Give us Bernie back. Well, we shall see. We shall see when we're getting Bernie back. Right. Tim Walz did. He was on point. He never straight off and start attacking Vance. He did attack him a few times and Trump a few times. But at the end of the day, he was policy headed. It was all policy. What are we going to do actually when we win? When we get on the ground, this is what we're going to do. Yeah, Vance won. Okay, bro. Almost every media outlet says he loses, but don't trust the experts. It's okay. Kaya Weller, the experts are wrong on everything. It's okay. We shall see on November 5th who really won. And yeah, we're 2 hours, 11 minutes now. I'm gonna cut the stream. Thanking all of you for coming in today. It was an amazing session. Remember, no matter what happens in the news, no matter what, if Donald Trump's taking a second debate, does not matter. All that matters is you guys going out there and vote like your life depends on it, because it does. And finally, God bless America.